A wise man once said, kindness always matters. For me, that wise man was Mr. Friso Poldevaart.
Wow.
Mr. Friso.
Guys, thank you so much for
Bangkok Community Help Organization, one of, if not the biggest community service organization in Bangkok. But it is much more than that. And that's what we're going to find out today. How you doing? Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. First of all, I really want to say what an energy you guys have. And I love just, we're here just to sketch it out. We're in a house of another beautiful person. It's upstairs somewhere. There's this beautiful studio. You guys are grinding. You have so much cool energy, and I really, really respect that about you guys. So really awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
My response to this amazing thing would be game recognized game.
Yes, that's it. Let's
game
go.
Recognized
Yeah,
game.
absolutely. No, awesome. Really, really, really.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get into this.
100%. Someone's
go.
do it.
Let's go.
All right, Mr. Friso, Bangkok Community Help is your main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Could you give us a brief history when you started, how you got it up, and just talk to us about Bangkok Community Help?
Okay. Yeah, so Bangkok Community Help basically started because of COVID-19. So basically the first ever case that came to Thailand, we set out and said, okay, what should we do? We want to help. Of course, at that time especially, the recommendation from everyone was this: go inside, lock your door, turn on Netflix and wait. And we said, no, we cannot do that. We have to get out there. So we started helping out, bringing meals to people in communities that were suffering a lot, because especially low-income communities suffered greatly during COVID. We all suffered, but they mostly, right?
100%.
Yeah, of course.
And from there, it just started rolling. We got more and more involved in these communities. We saw more and more the hardship they were facing. And that's how it grew. And of course, people joined us as well, right? So we became the Bangkok Community Help Foundation, well, kind of by itself, almost by accident. And, I would say that because, truly, we never thought it would be this. And COVID really dictated us to do it. Yeah. COVID, I wish it would never happen. But one thing I'm very happy about is that it brought us the foundation, because all these beautiful people, including yourselves, came and joined, So it's great. We build a community, we build a family during a time when nobody was able to meet each other, you know what I mean?
Right.
The separation was so big, and we were still able to build this beautiful, beautiful group of people. And again, anybody that wants to join, you can always join this family as well. So it's growing.
Let me tell you guys this. It's really easy and really accessible. This Bangkok Community Help, I've gone to it a few times.
Yeah.
The people there are amazing. It's really easy. They put you into a line group, and it's just a very accessible and great way to get involved in the community. Now, with this, I have another question for you, which is, why did you feel like it was you who needed to do it? Where was that responsibility? How come it was like, okay, I have to help this community out. These are my... Because, of course, everyone can talk. Everyone can say, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that. But why is it that you decided, okay, I'm going to do this?
Yeah, no, I love that question. It's a very good thought. I think, and I speak for Greg as well, for us it's not a question like, okay, why did you do it? For us it just feels like we needed to do it, right? I think it's also the love of Thailand. We're not Thai, obviously.
The land of smiles.
Yeah, and Thailand has given me a lot. Has given me a life that I really love to live.
Of course.
And I feel that it's great when everything is going well, Everything is open and people are happy. And of course, everybody can live their life freely, right? But then when, the hits the fan, we should also be here. And I would have done that in any other country as well. We need to be there for each other, right?
Exactly.
Kindness always matters in any time. And that's why. It's a very simple reason, actually. We should be there for others always, and especially during that time. But now also, that's why we keep going as well, right?
So it's like that ideology where it's like you're there. It's like with friends or something. It's like you can be there for them at their best, but if you're not there for them at their worst, then you're not a true friend.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that too. And and it's also like, that's everybody's choice too. I'm not saying that anybody needs to do what we do, but like you mentioned very, very well, anybody wants to help. I really believe that. Everybody has that in them, but not many people know how. Right? I want to help someone, but where should I go? What should I buy? Who should I give it to? What do they need? All these things. So I think our task as the foundation is to build that bridge between people that want to help and people that need help. And I think that's also the future of our foundation more and more.
And Mr. Friso, I really respect that. I do have a question though, because I had no idea that this started in the time of COVID.
Yeah.
And I really want to know your mindset, because the thing is, I've always heard that there were two people during COVID. One that were, as you said, doing Netflix and chill. And there were the other ones that had a huge boost in productivity, had a huge boost in the impact that they were making in the lives of themselves and in the lives of others.
Yeah.
So I want to know, what was that key mindset that differentiated you and Mr. Greg, of course, from those other people that were Netflix and chilling?
Yeah. Yeah, that is, again, a very good question. I think, we are both not Netflix, Netflix and chill. It really depends on who, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We got to cut this stuff out.
You know what I mean? Okay, let's do that again, or you want to keep that in?
No, let's keep that in.
Okay. We're doers, I think. Because we're businessmen, so to say. We're doing business. For me, 10 years, Greg. Much longer. So we don't sit still, never sit still. So when somebody says like, you gotta sit still and watch Netflix, I go crazy. I cannot do it anyway, right? So it just made a lot of sense. Like, okay, we're not gonna sit still. Of course, business is gonna be very slow. Right. We needed to have our business to survive as well, and Greg especially, because he's running all his restaurants and
Sunrise Tacos, all wonderful stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My God, two of my favorite things: sunrise and tacos in one. Man, that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Right. Yeah.
But can you imagine during COVID how hard that was as well?
Getting out of your zone to sort of help out the other people.
100%. Yeah. And with this, Mr. Friso, again, two things that tie into this. One is, you mentioned businesses. Could you elaborate a little bit upon that? Yeah. And second thing, for me, bro, seriously, not being able to sit still would be a dream come true. Yeah. Where does that come from?
Really?
Where does that fire come from? 100%, yeah. Because that's what I think the most successful people, I think in my mind, of course, when they're supposed to be relaxed, they are relaxed. But when they're working, which is usually always, they're just right on their game. And
right.
Where does that come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess that's the grind, but I think you guys have it too. I don't see you all day, but when I see you guys, you're on high alert and full power. So, you got to do what you love. That's number one, right? And if you have fun while doing it, it will never feel like, oh, I want to break or I don't want to do it. You just keep going, right? And as long as you keep that in mind. And then, of course, if you find some success in your life at some point, that really sort of amplifies, like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. It's going well. Hey, I am able to build a business. But for me, what I felt very strongly is like, okay, if I can build a business and, make a lot of money and buy all of this stuff, it's all for me, for myself, right?
Okay.
Why don't I use that little brain power I might have to help someone else? That's awesome. What I mean? That's really what I feel is the key to that.
Selflessness is key.
Yeah. And but you need to, again, I speak with a lot of people about this, right? And everything in life has phases. And I think once you're taken care of in life by yourself is the moment you can truly look at other people as well and take care of them. If you're only taking care of yourself because you need to, it's going to be very hard to give your time and attention also to others, right? So everything has stages, I think. So there's absolutely nothing bad about being busy with your own career, and I want to do this and I want to do that. But at some point when you reach that, then it's really time to, okay, let's look at others then as well.
I think what you're saying is really beautiful, because we've all heard that thing that treat your body like a temple, your body is a temple, right? Yeah. But what you're saying is, the world is a temple.
Absolutely. No, very good.
Right? And
very
treat
good.
that like a sacred place, and hats off, man.
Absolutely.
So I got another question for you. Now, doing all of this stuff, sometimes with some people, it derives from their childhood, maybe like growing up in their communities, they have some sort of like bond together. Of course, I know that you are from Netherlands, is it? So is there something maybe from when you grew up?
Oh wait, wrong language.
Let's cut that out.
Hello.
Yeah, same. Just like O and A swap.
Yeah,
like
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so when growing up, do you think maybe there was something that happened, or maybe there was a specific event in your life that happened that made you decide, okay, now when I can do stuff, I will do something. Maybe you saw something, or maybe just growing up there was that strong bond from where you're from?
I think this is more a thing that Thailand really gave me, to be honest, because it's very different, right? Netherlands and Thailand. So, like I said, when I came to Thailand, I was quite young, right? I moved here when I was 18.
Whoa,
so that's
that young.
That's quite young, yeah. And I
And
came.
what exactly, I don't know, sparked that move? Or
So my best friend, it's like my brother,
Sweet.
lived in the same village as me, and his mother is Thai, his father is Dutch. So I was always around Thailand in some way.
Sweet.
Then when I was 11, his mom said, hey, you know, you're old enough now. You're going to go with us to Thailand because they were going there on holiday, right?
Oh, nice.
So I was very young when I came here. Come from a small village. I come here to Bangkok. As a young kid, I was like, oh, wow, it's so different. You cannot even describe, right? So I slowly started growing on me like, wow, I want to be in Thailand. I want to be in Thailand. So it's actually, Thailand is very special to me. Really, really special. So
I mean, if
feel
you're
it,
here for 12 years, it has to be special.
yeah, no, it does. But it can also get tiring, right? And some people get
100%.
tired of Thailand. I love it still. I love it so much.
You could stay here for the rest of your life and you wouldn't be tired of it.
I will. This is it. I mean, this is, I'll die here, basically.
Is there some,
Oh my God.
Is there like
Really.
any specific thing about Thailand? Because of course we spoke about Thailand as a whole, but is there anything about Thailand that really makes you feel like, damn, this is the place I want to be, these are the people I want to be with, this is the life I want to live?
I think it's a combination of many factors, but it's just the fact that, you know, that you're here, you're accepted, to be able to live here, to live your life in many ways the way you want it. That's all accepted by the sort of people of the country is quite special. I mean, there's not many countries in the world where that happens, right?
You're one of them.
Yeah, so exactly. So that's why I think people feel very at home here, and I feel very at home
That's a good point.
here as well. Of course, in Netherlands too. That's my real home,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And my parents are there, my sister is there, my nephew and niece, and I miss them a lot. So that's the only price to pay, right? You're far away from your
But you
family.
gotta, like, you cannot have the cake. So what was it? There was
You
this
cannot
phrase-
eat your cake and have it too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But then again, so if you then think in solutions, so what if we start bringing my parents more here? You know what I mean?
Nice.
My mom was just
I think
here.
I
my
saw a
father
story.
gonna
Your
come.
mom was here for a
Yeah.
while. You guys like
I met her
we
and
had-
she's
Yeah,
as cool
yeah.
as you, and I'm sorry to say this, maybe a little bit cooler.
Yeah,
But
no.
like I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, she's the reason I'm here. You know?
Of course,
she's
of course.
amazing.
Yeah,
but
she's
you
pretty awesome.
you see what I mean? So that's it's also the world's pretty small, right?
Right.
So why not make that smaller? Then my mom comes here, my dad comes here. They might live here at some point, maybe 3 months a year, maybe 5 months a year. So that's again, you know, and then find a solution for that. You know, okay, it's far away, 10,000 kilometers, but you know, let's
Right.
fix that.
It's-
you
it's
know,
mad.
Man, dude, like this entire conversation, every sentence, you can give us a quote.
yeah,
Because you said the world is a really small place. Let's make it smaller. Right?
yeah.
That's such a cool quote.
Yeah, what a
and
guy.
I know, and Mr. Friso, I want to dive a little bit deeper now, because you mentioned that you're gonna die in Bangkok. You mentioned that, right?
Yeah, in Thailand,
And
yeah.
you know how we've all heard this thing called memento mori,
Yeah.
which is like I don't know what the exact translation is, but the concept is that
So-
everyone's gonna eventually die someday.
Your
and you should-
legacy?
yeah,
Or-
your legacy, and everyone's gonna eventually die someday. So, what is it that you are, striving to do in your life? Do you think a lot about that, or do you believe in that memento mori or something?
It's more and more, and that's weird because it's
Oh.
also like I'm 30 now, right? And when you're
Right.
30, it's the first time ever you can look back into your life, like
Wow.
really like 10 years back, right? You see sort of your growth.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in your 20s, like it's still not a thing. But now I look back, and now more and more I feel like, okay, what would my legacy be, right? And then, I mean, really believe that if my legacy can be that I was able to help others have a better life, have a better future, then I mean that's it. It's amazing. I mean, and we're talking about building schools at some point.
Right.
Things that are also long lasting forever, or for a long time there, and that can really impact generations, even if we're not there anymore, right? So that will be it will happen, of course, and that will be the legacy then, yeah.
No, I mean 100%, because we were discussing before this podcast, Rom and I, that a lot of people know what Bangkok Community has done and what is doing. However, not a lot of people know what the future plans are. And
That's
you just
good.
mentioned building a school. So do
Yeah.
you want to tell us a bit about the future plans?
Yeah,
of Bangkok
that's a
Community
very
Help?
good question. Yeah, I mean, everything of the foundation will be future proof, will be long lasting, will be sustainable. So, of course, what we did during COVID was literally keep people alive during like the pandemic,
Oh my
right?
God, yeah.
That's
must have
now
been-
over, finally. So now
Wow.
we're looking, okay, so if everybody lost their job, how can we get them back to work, right? If kids are not going to school, how can we get them back to school? All to make sure that they will be able to be self-sufficient again, right? So that's why, I mean, we build houses for families. Why do we build houses? Well, first of all, everybody needs a house, but especially kids. If they grow up somewhere under, you know, a wooden roof somewhere, when it's raining, the water comes in, they're wet, the mattress is wet, even if they have a mattress.
Damn, that's
If you live like that, you're not even thinking about tomorrow. You're thinking about, if it rains tonight, it's gonna be bad for us, right?
Right.
Who can physically, mentally think about what's my future gonna be? Should I study? Can I study? So kids need a safe home, always. That's the foundation of everything else, then they can grow. That's why we're so big on that. I would love to build hundreds, thousands of houses. And, you know, again, that's something we can solve. I mean, you know, same thing, I mean, we help the homeless and the elderly. We do that every day. I was just there. Same thing, right? We bring them meals. You guys were there as well.
100%.
That's not a solution, right?
That's not
I
a
mean,
solution.
it sounds sad. And today was day 325 that we were there.
Yeah, we
nonstop,
saw the
right?
story.
You saw it, right?
Yeah.
And I was in the car and I was alone. And I was thinking, yeah, okay, soon it's 365. It's going to be 1 year.
40 days, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you know, it's a celebration in some way, well, like an achievement, but we didn't solve anything in the term that we solved, of course, that people weren't hungry,
Right.
that people didn't feel forgotten, which is very important.
Right.
But I want these people to have a better life. I don't want to give them food and the next day they're on the street again. How can we make this long-lasting, long-term, right? And it's very difficult, very difficult. It's something I really think about a lot. And that needs, you know, I've been talking about on other podcasts. In this case, we'll need some real drastic change in policies, politics. But even that, I would be willing to do if they would ever let me, right? So, yeah, I think it's all about, okay, what can we do long term? Education, work, get people on their feet with the right tools so they can strive, build a great life for themselves, their families, and the people around them. That's really long lasting.
Mr. Friso, I wanted your opinion on this one thing that I quite often think about. Because I think 100%, everyone who lives has somewhere within their hearts that they want to do something good for people, right? But before that comes that, I don't want to call it selfishness, but of course that innate human need to first do something for themselves and build a name for themselves and then work for people, right? Yes. What role did that play for you? Because I think in some respect, maybe you're lucky with that, right? That you were like settled or you were well established at a quite of a young age.
Before that, can you actually go into, I'm not sure if the viewers even know, what did you do before this? Because I know that you had...
Precisely, that's exactly what I'm referring to.
Okay,
What exactly was that establishment for you?
Okay.
And how did that transition come into helping people? And how can we do that as youngsters? And how can we...
It's a good question. You know, I'm skipping a little bit that part. But so, I mean, I'll keep it very simple. So I studied film. I studied cinematography. Very creative. Like you saw, I was making movies.
Very creative. You should see a 6-year-old Mr. Friso. I wish we could do a podcast with him, to be honest. No?
I wish so. That would be fun. But so, I mean, very creative field. Creative people usually not business people, right?
Right.
They're all about their craft. I want to make cool things. And I was like that, really was like that. When I came to Thailand, this is 12 years ago, you know, Thailand is amazing, like I said, but it's also a difficult country as a foreigner to sort of get your roots going because it's very hard. You know, jobs are not all around, especially in this creative field, right?
Even the language. I mean, as simple as that. Yeah, the language
and the culture. I mean, it's hard. Yeah. I mean, so we shouldn't forget that as well. Yeah. So I said, okay, what can I do? I can hold a camera. I know what to do with that. I'm pretty good at it. Why don't I sell that service, right? So. Okay, then we come into the advice for people that watch and younger people. Do what you do best. I mean, if you are good at X, then do that and capitalize on that, right? So I was making videos, like you saw, running around with guns, shooting and kicking people, right, when I was young. So again, I can do that also for others, right? It doesn't mean it's going to be those kind of movies, but, you know, I started doing for hotels. I started doing for... you know, establishment like restaurants, bars, short little videos that started to pick up. So again, you use your skills that you have, that you love, that you can do. I was working 18 hours a day, shooting in the morning, editing in the afternoon, shooting another in the evening, just to survive. But perfect. You need to work very, very hard, right? And then from there it starts. And then maybe a bigger company calls, hey, you want to do our latest commercial? Then there's an artist, you want to do our music video. Now it starts rolling.
So now they come to you.
Now they come to you. Yeah. Now they come to you. By just sheer hard work, by just grinding and grinding and grinding, that will happen. So so then that was that. Then I did many things. I started to sort of develop a business mind, started importing wine, selling wine, doing e-commerce. Then what people know me probably best of beside Bangkok Community Help is Dinner in the Sky.
Of course, yes. But it stopped, right? Because
Yes. So it stopped.
Right. Yeah. One thing. How did you come up with this? This is amazing, man. Like it's stuff that we don't even see in movies. Like it's that imaginative.
Also, it's still running in Dubai. So was there like a
100% Dubai, India lots? What's the story with that?
So it's basically Dinner in the Sky is a Belgian company.
All right.
Invented there. It's 45 countries in the world.
Wow.
Thailand was never done before.
Wow.
So I saw it one day on YouTube together with my previous business partner. He showed it to me. I was like, wow, that's so cool. If we could bring that to Thailand, that would be huge. It would be a big hit.
Lovely.
So we went over to Malaysia where they were running it already.
All right.
We said, okay, we want to buy the license for Thailand. We bought the license that same evening.
Oh, wow.
We went back to Thailand.
So one more lesson. Don't waste time, yeah?
Right. But the other let's also think, because...
Oh, right, yeah.
Man, we bought it. Then, we came back with the airplane, we landed, we came back in our office. I was like, oh, wait a second. How are we going to do this, by the way? You know what I mean? So we got carried away, of course, by the excitement. And we were up there and eating. I was like, we need to do this, sure. Then we had to figure it out. But again, it's all about, again, then you start grinding, right? You start going and going.
But also, it doesn't really feel like grinding when it's something that you love, right? So
no, it's amazing. I love it. It's the best thing ever, right?
Was it one of the best times in your life, you think?
Absolutely. It was so much fun. Also, again, because you make a lot of people happy, right? Everybody that went there went up, came back down, and had like a big smile from ear to ear, right?
Nice.
So you're making people happy, you're giving them a good experience. So that was the most fun. And it's, of course, it's kind of cool. You put this up in the middle of the city. Everybody's looking up like, what's this?
Where was it located again? I forgot. Was it near?
It was next to the Benjasiri Park.
Was it near Dinosaur World?
Yes, Dinosaur World was there, and we were next to Dinosaur. Yeah, that time.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So announcement, we might come back this year. So
is that being said the first time ever?
Yes. When I was on the
history is made.
Yeah, when I was on the Tiger podcast, I didn't say it yet, but hey, disclaimer, who knows?
Yeah.
But I would really love to do it again.
How
That's
come?
awesome.
This may be a personal question, so we can cut it off if you want, but
yeah.
Why did it just stop? Was there some internal things? Was it just that you had different goals and that maybe now Bangkok Dinner Sky wasn't in your thing and now it was more of, okay, I'm going to do this new venture?
Yeah, well, it was at that time, it's usually circumstances come together, right? And also COVID hit, of course, so that was another thing. So all of that kind of came together. It just didn't, after Bangkok, it's like a moving kind of circus, right? We want to go to
100%.
Phuket, to Pattaya, Chiang Mai. We want to bring it everywhere, right? That just didn't happen that time. I'm much more confident that this time we can do that.
Fingers crossed, seriously.
Yeah. And, and I would do it just for fun, really, because it's also close to my heart, this company, because, it was the first to ever bring it here. And so many people ask me, why aren't you not bringing it back? Bring it back. What are you doing? We want to go again. So also that, I'm like, okay.
But also it's
let me try, you know what I mean?
But it's also like I have this mission for Bangkok Community Help. So it's like, how do I now, which one is, how am I going to focus Dinner in the Sky and then Bangkok?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. So that's also a good question. During Bangkok Community Help, the first, say, 2 years, really the heavy COVID years, there was not even time to think about anything, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was only that, right? And now, since COVID is kind of gone, tunnel vision. And like a train that's just going with 300 kilometers an hour, you don't even know what's happening. You're just reacting, right? And now when COVID is kind of gone, it's the first time to kind of, sit back a little bit, think about, okay, that was that. how can we make the foundation much more sustainable, like we talked about, and then also like, oh, is there maybe other things that I would love to maybe do again? To be honest, Bank Community Help, I will do all my life. Also, again, I love it.
It's your love.
Yeah, I love it. And if you didn't love it, you couldn't do it. I mean, it's non-stop. It never stops, but it gives so much energy. Right?
During COVID times, what was the thing that flipped the switch in you? What was that one? Was it one event where you were like, I don't know, something happened? You're like, okay, I have to do this. What was that event?
Did you see something? Was this something happening?
Yeah, no, that's yes. So it was. So we did the meals. That was also the day when I met Greg, kind of like first time, sort of like. I mean, I knew him. But not that well. So he said, okay, I know where we should bring these meals. And he brought us to a community in Klong Tai, right? And there was a woman, we even have it on video. She came with her very small grandchild, and she was crying. And she said, like, I have nowhere to go. I cannot buy food. I have nothing left. I need help. And you guys that came here are the only help I got, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it was like, nobody knew what COVID was, really, right? But, I mean, they were suffering already. Because the economy was, collapsed already the soon they closed the borders of Thailand, right? So they felt it much earlier than sort of the real...
The big guns, yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of like, they were at the far ahead in that way, right?
Right.
So that's really when I realized, like, whoa, wait, this is really serious, because, if you're on Sukhumvit Road, it's very different than that you're in Klong Tai, like, Rama 4 and, one road behind. But it's the same district, right? So, perception of a lot of people was, it's kind of quiet outside. And, we have 3 cases and the government's doing this and that.
Because it's like this. When you're living in your house and you're locked up and you're comfortable and you have that, like, good, safe environment, you think, okay, yes, COVID is big, but it's not affecting me. Why should I worry about it? But then when you go down and you see, like, the needy, you see what's going on in the communities, it's like, shit.
Then you realize it, right? Yeah. And that I think also, again, is our task at the foundation as well, to tell those stories of those people. And we did it a lot during that time, and we still do it. I mean, we tell stories of people that live in your neighborhood, in your backyard, that you would never see, that you would never know exist, but really, really could use your help. And I think, again, that's, us being the bridge, between the people that want to help, the people that can afford to help, and the people that really need it. That Bangkok Community Help is right here, and that's how we can do much more than, just do what we can do as physical human beings, right? If we can make those connections, those will last forever as well. And those can grow into, other initiatives even, of other people doing stuff. So I think that's the power we really have and we should utilize, yeah.
Right. I mean, I assume that it would have required for you to put all of your hesitation aside and of these sorts of like barriers or whatever aside and focus like straight up all of your energy on this stuff.
Yeah.
How did you do that? Because it's not an easy thing to do, like just to call up anybody and ask for help and, just, I don't know, be in a helpless situation in front of a person and see like, I don't need this help, but these people do, so could you please help me? Like, how?
Yeah, no, but that was, in the beginning, of course, then you start calling everybody and say, hey, we're doing this thing, we're helping out people. We need your help, we need your support, we need your funding, right? So in the beginning, you really need to work hard, again, grind on that. But of course, some people know you already, you have maybe, have a good relationship, you have done business with them, know the owner of the company that sells the rice, you call him, you say, hey, I'm doing this thing, right? So you start like very business-wise and right? Similar mindset in that way. And then again, you start doing it more and more and more. And I believe so much that what made us big or what made us able to help 1 million, 2 million people already is that because we're out there every day, I don't have to go anywhere and say like, oh yeah, this is my foundation, we're doing this. I just have to show what we're doing.
It's funny though, because you do so many ventures, but I know that you're running the venture, but doesn't mean that you have to go every time. There's like something you created that, like you've created such a beautiful community, such beautiful people that are doing such amazing things. Yeah. That's like, okay, I don't have to be there, but it will still run
Absolutely.
without me.
And like, you've made it sustainable, self-dependent. That's the goal of every businessman.
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly what you do, right? So we have 600 volunteers. They work
including
every
both of
day,
us.
Including you guys.
602 now, yeah?
Yeah, epic. Yeah, no, I counted you in the 600. So, that, and they are working so hard every day too. So, of course, I mean, if it would just be me and Greg, we couldn't do anything. We need all these people, and that's why it's so amazing, And I mean, I might sort of, be the face of it all, but it's the people behind it that really make it work and really make it, tick. If I'm not there and, everybody is going and working, that's exactly what you want, right? I mean, you don't want to need to be there always. It's the same in business, the same in this. The great thing about this is that everybody that comes to our foundation has the same mindset. They want to help someone else. It's not about them, right?
It's selflessness.
So it's selflessness. So when you meet someone at Bangkok Community Help, you will always connect.
I think the first time I met a guy named Zoo.
Okay,
Zoo, he was a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
The genuinity in him, it was just like, he told me, he's like, I've come to university, and I'm like, why do you do this? He's like, this is the least we can do. It wasn't he had that mentality where it was like, oh, hey Zoo, by the way, if you're watching this. But no, he had that mentality where it was like, it wasn't oh, I'm doing something wonderful. It's this is the bare minimum. This is what I have to do.
Yeah.
Now, I think that with this, we want to sort of segue this towards what, like, our final question, which is,
Sure.
Now you've done this Bangkok Community Help, you've started it.
Yeah.
What, like, message you want to send out to the world? What is it that you want to tell people? What is something that you want to solve? What is that, like, your, like, message? Like, if this reaches, like, somebody from another country or somebody from somewhere else, what message would you want this to receive? Like, what message would you want to send out to them?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, kindness always matters. I think it's just, it's like if you can implement in your brain this sort of software where you're just look out for someone else as well.
Awesome.
And that's not even, that's not even means like I need to come and give some, that's even giving someone a smile on the street, you know what I mean? That can make someone's day. Be kind for each other, 100%. Look after each other. This world is not so fun for many people, and it's pretty cruel sometimes too. So why not be nice, to everyone and ask them, can I help you? Is there anything I can do for you? Not everybody will need the help, but the fact that you asked it would already be a big thing for most people, right? So I think that's really the message. It's let's all do that. If like all the people of the world are watching this podcast, if we all do that, can you imagine how this world would be? It would be perfect.
You know what I was just about to propose? That the best way to sort of wrap this up or whatever would be for you, the listener, to do this one thing today before you sleep. Just show your kindness and show your appreciation to one person if you're watching it. It could be like texting somebody, as simple as thank you for being in my life.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as giving a smile to a random stranger or to us. But yeah, just do that, and it's gonna make you feel so amazing, and it's gonna make the other person feel even better.
That's
wonderful.
Perfect.
I think that with this, we'd like to say, Mr. Friso, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming out here.
Honor, really.
This episode,
all for us too.
This episode will be out on YouTube, Spotify, and we are on TikTok. We are on Instagram, and we're trying to get
everywhere basically. Literally, you cannot miss us.
No, and subscribe too.
Like, subscribe, show your love, and
thank you, man.
Thank you.
I think I want to end this with, it doesn't cost anything to be a good human being.
Exactly.
So when you're given the choice between being right and being kind, choose kind.
Well, yeah.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
And guys, can I say one more thing?
Please.
If you're in Bangkok and you're watching Bangkok Community Help Foundation, we're always looking for volunteers, or if you want to donate any of your clothes, your toys, your furniture, just send us a message. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok as well. 100%. We're everywhere. Bangkok Community Help Foundation.
100%. We will link all of that below in the episodes. Again, you can't miss them, you can't miss us.
We are out.